research on Tesla. I've been working on it, and I did it. The strongest number of people, or I guess financial people, are saying the stock's going to go down. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but I'm going to tell you the following, okay? And this is the following. If it goes above 253.55, write that down, 53.55, we're going to make a bunch of money. So you alert me when it gets there, okay?
I'm setting an alert now, 253.55.
Sound like a plan. Yeah, I was reading all this stuff. I said, everybody's so convinced, but here's the number that tells me I ought to be buying it above 253.55. So anyway, thought I'd share that with people. And then if it gets there, I'll have several strategies to take advantage of it. Okay? All right, so let's get started, folks. High degree of risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Hope everybody's doing well. Former Air Force officer, active trader since the 70s, former member of the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, author of 3 books, and I have worked with a bunch of people, okay? Bunch of people. DTI, we help you master the markets through education, training, and experience. In my opinion, we've got probably about to mid-April a market like you're looking at where it has spurts and falls, spurts and falls. It's a day trading commodity type market. If you pick your opportunities, you can go in like we did today. We had 3 opportunities at 12 o'clock when we met, and we made all 3 of them. So if anybody made those opportunities, I got something that I'm going to be doing, and it gives us a chance to do it. And I've been spending all week getting everybody prepared. So let's go. Now, 10 tickers is something that I put out on Sunday night, and people seem to enjoy it. Usually 4 or 5 of these tickers hit during the week. This week I sort of set it towards gold and the metals, and it works pretty simple, but it works for the week. Here it is. My goal is to find these 10 tickers over the weekend when the markets are closed, and then try to set up numbers that will make us pay. Like the one I gave you on Tesla, 253.55, we got to pay attention. 253.55. But I find opportunities. And does everybody like that on Sunday night when I put that out? You know, because it's a lot of work on Saturday and Sunday to go through all these tickers and find the right 10, but it seems to pay pretty good. So Sunday night we'll have another 10. Now here's how it works. Gold, might have an example to go above 277. Like this week, it went to I think 281 at one point. Okay. You know, Berkshire's paid us. A lot of these stocks have paid us along the way. I said if the QQQ went below 465 as a short, the QQQ didn't do that, but that's an example. I give you numbers. Can't hide from the numbers. There's the numbers. And the numbers are good for the week. So over the weekend, I'll give you some new numbers for that. Now, I've been offering this up for about 3 to 4 years in my T-Buzz All-Star Sunday night planning. I'll plan on doing it again. Any questions about the 10 tickers? 3 or 4 of them is going to pay you next week if you pay attention. set an alert on your computer and, you know, take advantage of it. Reminder, always refer to whatever time of day it is. You know, for example, it comes off late in the afternoon, last 30 minutes, wait till the next morning for the reference bar. Let's say I gave you Berkshire halfway when I did above 517, and I did that this week. Berkshire went up to 5, I think that was the reference bar there on Monday morning, but then eventually it went to 531 this morning in the pre-market. Nice trade, $13. I'd take $13 every week. Now, I typically trade options with it. My goal is not to day trade, but to trade a trend, which is that's saying a lot that this thing really is a good process for, you know, getting those stocks that will help you. Now, if it doesn't trigger at late day Wednesday or early Thursday, I'd probably avoid it for that week and wait till next Sunday night. Long options would be the most aggressive approach. I usually go out at least about 7 to 10 days on it. About $3 for an outright call or outright put is what I like to pay. Option spreads can also be used effectively. In fact, I'll tell you on Berkshire, if it sets up for next week above 530, I would do a 530, 545 spread out to May. Or I might do a put spread with a near-term expiration. That's the beautiful thing about this. And usually that's how I set it. That's technique right there when I sell one of those put spreads. Let's go back to that BRK. Step one, set an alert once I give it to you on Sunday night. If it triggers, you can buy a call spread, or sell a put spread if it's bullish. Simple, straightforward. And that was the example of a bullish stock setup. Now, bearish setup will be a shorter time frame, you know, with a shorter expiration, generally speaking, okay? About 2 days is all I'd hold one of the shorts. Now, remember, market breaks down usually real fast. Once it quits going up, it goes up those stairs and it takes that elevator down. Now, those are some insights on the 10 tickers, and we'll do a little bit more work on that, and I'll get it on YouTube where you can go review it at your convenience. Now, let's focus on what I think is most important right now. I talked about this roadmap here. If you look at that roadmap, it follows that, okay? And it looks to me like we're going to keep this going at least for another 30 to 45 days. So we got to do something to take advantage of it once the trend gets out. I'll teach you some other stuff as we get further into it, but I can tell you this right now: this market, it's not trending, and all it's doing is you know, staying up for 1 or 2 reference bars and then reversing and doing that. It's sort of interesting to watch, honestly. Now, the question you have to answer: will the market move up, down, or sideways next week? Not that easy, is it? Not when you're below the monthly open, above the weekly open. So you got to shorten your time frame and reduce your exposure when you trade these type markets. A lot of days they turn sour in the morning or the afternoon. You know, good trends that you're used to, I mean, less than few months ago, you get in these things, be able to hold it for 2 or 3 days. Can't do that anymore, not in this market. Yeah, agile's a great word. Thanks, SP. Okay? Let me tell you, if you're losing trades, you got to reduce your exposure. Not your fault. You just got to know this technique and be with me. I made 3 great trades today with people live. Who was there today? You got to learn this to be able to take advantage of this kind of market. That's the bottom line. Now, the only way around it, I think, is to learn the techniques of day trading. Now, you say, well, I don't want to day trade. Well, I want to make money. Day trade is an art. Okay? Day trade is an art. And I can teach you how to do this. And we can trade it together. Here's some education I covered so far this week. We got lessons on that. When you enter during the day, three main times, 10, 12, and 2. 10, 12, and 2. We take the signals, and if you look at RB4, typically it could be a reversal signal of the trend of the day. Very rare you get a continuation that lasts all day in this current market. But if you do, it's a big one. We've had a couple of those. Now, the Genesis reference bar will mark the high or low 4 out of 5 days. That's a key time. And you know, from 11:30 to 12, you got to pay attention to those numbers if you're going to enter a market or exit a market on those days. That's pretty good odds, and it's holding up even in this market. When I'm trading these, I'm trying to make anywhere from 5 to 25%, get back to cash and wait for tomorrow. It adds up if you grind it out. Now, tickers that qualify are very, very easy to find. Those that trade weekly options or intra-week expiration, like daily, QQQ, SPY, tickers like that work real well. Got to know what to do when a trade turns bad. How do you correct it? If you're wrong, you got to have an all bets off number. I can tell you right now, in this market, you ought to stay long until, or shoot from the long side until you go below, write this number down, 56.50. That's a big plus that you got to look at this current market, 56.50. Write that number down. That's a big number. That's worth the value of a lot of money to you, knowing that number, 56.50. On that day right there, we screamed higher on RB3. Off we went. Looked like it was going to be a day. But look what happened at Genesis. Right there at 12 o'clock, the market turned south. Didn't last all day after screaming high that morning. Now, what you can do, if you believe the directional bias is totally wrong, you take your loss. You got to do that. That's why you trade small. If you need more time for your directional bias to take shape, you use my strategy, turning lemons into lemonade. In other words, go out more expiration days. If you long a call option, turn the trade and spread by selling the next strike up, then see if the trend identified comes back into play. Even that will turn bad if the trend had a reversal. If your limit every trade hadn't shown your original bias to be accurate by RB3 next day, you got to get out. You can't stay in it. Time to exit and move on. If the trend does come back, it gives you an opportunity to turn that lemon into a lemonade. And let's talk about the pattern day trader rule. Terrible rule. However, How many people want to really learn the art of avoiding that rule and still be able to day trade? Let me ask that question. Type a yes in the chat if you want to learn how to get around that rule. Because you shouldn't be unfairly penalized, and I'll teach you how to do it and show you how to do it, because this is a terrible rule, and oh man, it gets me going when I think about it. That's for small accounts. But it's good to know if you got a big account. Best way to avoid having day trades: never close out an opening transaction on the same day. So if you open something, you can't close it that day or you're going to get a day trade violation. You can only have 3 of those in a 5-day period. 3 in a 5-day period. That's the rule. So if you open something up and close it that day, that's one of your 3 shots. Like baseball, you only get 3 strikes in that 5-day period. Now, if your call option reaches a target on day 1, all you do is sell the next strike up, and it turns it into a spread and get out the next morning. That's the best way to handle it. You don't have to get booked as a day trade on a great trade if you do that. Not the preferred way, but it's better than taking those day trade violations. Pretty simple once you get used to it, and you can navigate through any market as a day trader using this technique. All you do is just neutralize the trade and move on. Now type yes if you've learned something about day trading today. Type yes in here. I want everybody to type yes if you learned something about what I'm talking about, because I think this is the foundation of being able to make money in this kind of market. And that's what you're here for, is to learn how to make money and do it on a consistent basis. Now, there's a lot more I can teach you about the art of day trading. And I came up with a plan for those that want to join me to do that. So I want to be consistent of when I would do it. How many people could be available on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11:30, starting at 11:30, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? Type in here yes if you can be available on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday at 11:30. I'm seeing a lot of people typing in here saying they could be available. Good. Because that's my plan. Over rest of this month, the rest of April, I plan on doing this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11:30. Now today, here's what we were able to do. 13%. Put 1,000 up, you got 130 in profit. Another 12. That's just today. I know a little bit about day trading. I mean, 11%. Goodness gracious. That's the beautiful thing about my technique. Okay. What we do is very unique, and I can teach it to you, but I need a little time with you. If you give me the time, I can teach you how to do this. You can use it when you want to, or if you get in this situation, if it lasts longer through than April, then maybe or to consider doing some more. But I think April should get us back to a normal situation in the market. That's what I think. We'll see if I'm right on that. Now, I can't promise future success, but I can guarantee you one thing. I'm going to teach you about trading and the art of day trading. You should be able to use a reasonable amount of risk capital to generate about anywhere from $500,000 once you get the techniques down per day. Would that make everybody type yes in here if I could show you how to grind out 500 to 1,000 every time? Now you're gonna have losses along the way, there's no doubt, but I'm talking about overall. If I trade with you enough, that's what it's gonna average. I'll show you how it works. Techniques. So here's what I propose. Live trading with me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the next 4 weeks, or a minimum of 20 trades. Over 20-day trades spread out 3 times a week. That way anybody can do it if you hold those 3 trades with me. Teaching you the art of day trading. That's my plan. We'll start next Tuesday. We'll start at 11:30 on Tuesday. You won't have to wait. You get the trade right there if we got one on that day. I don't care if you got a small account, big account. You're not going to violate the day trade rule with what I show you. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to master the mark. You're going to avoid the pattern day trade rule, meaning you don't need the 25 if you're a small account player. If you got it, that's great. And you got to have a margin account to do what we're going to do. Now, 20 live trades, typically, you said, hey, Tom, I'd like to have 20 live trades that cost you anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000. That's what I'd charge for it. Because you're talking about some serious money if you learn what I'm going to teach you. Now, we'll do it together Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and grind this thing out together. So instead of me charging $2,500 to join, here's a fair price. I'll take $2,000 off, and you can join with me today at $497. That's right, $497. That's from the rest of March, April until I hit 20 trades. There'll be some days I'll say we can't trade. I have to do another Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But the $497 gives you full access for what I'm going to do on this project that we're doing. Now, we're going to limit to 100 people. I'm basing that off all the people that are here and that kind of stuff. So if you want it, take it. It's chicken, fish, or steak. Make your choice, join me, and let's do it. Absolutely, Robin. This is worth it because next Tuesday, just like today, I found 3 trades for us today. Next Tuesday, we're going to kick it off. Go to dtitrader.com/day. Call 904-706-3532. The name of this is Winning the Day Trading Game. Right after my book. If you join, I will include a free copy of Winning the Day Trading Game with my membership. Another $50 in value I'm including for free. Not hypothetical, it's straight to it. Laura says she likes my day trading day where I explained the thinking way before I did the trade and then I placed the trade. Or Buck said, I keep it simple. I give a target. I tell us where we're wrong. And you know what to expect. Right there, live with me. Carol said, the process and explanation of market insights you can't get anywhere else. And Carol's got it right. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, folks. Okay. So the day trading game, now get joined. This is your chance to join. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Go pay your $4.97. We'll get those books sent. Go to dtitrader.com/day. Call 904-706-3532. Now, let's take about 10 minutes. Robin says, I'm already in. 99 slots left. Robin, you were quick. You made your mind up. You must have saw what I did today. Remember, we'll get started next Tuesday. We'll get started next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Look, we got 98 spots, 97. 97 now. Hey, let me ask the question. I'm just going to ask the question. Would you also like me every now and then to throw in a micro E-mini trade while I'm doing this with you? That's value added, isn't it, Frank? Well, if I got enough people that sign up and fill up the spots, I'll do it. And how much you want to bet? If Tesla goes to 253.55, you'll get that trade from me as a bonus in this class. How you like that one for another bonus? Goodness gracious. My goal is to show you, I'll show you how to generate anywhere from 500 to 1,000 off of very little money doing it. I did it many years ago, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do it again. This is the kind of market you got to do it in. Check your email. They said they got the book in there. Sign up, get going. Type yes in here if you signed up where I can count down the slots, because I know I missed a couple while I was talking, but if you type yes, that sort of tells me how many's left. Yes. Yes, Sylvan, you do. Don't pass up if you want to do this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Go to dtitrader.com/day. The day trading game brought to you live many years after I wrote the book. I like that. Now you got to remember something. You got to show up at 11:30 Eastern time. And then I'll record everything if you miss one of them where you get the lessons out of there, okay? That's about 20 plus lessons on the art of day trading I'll be covering, along with the trading. Here's the way it's going to work. Winning the day trading game, Brian. Start there. Here's the way it's going to work. We're going to show up at 11:30. I'm going to tell you the most likely scenario for that particular day. You're going to know that at 11:30. Then I'm going to give you the tickers I'm looking at. Okay? And then sometime after 12, we're going to take our action. That's how it's going to go. Pretty neat, huh? No, I got to thinking about it. I'm doing everything possible I can do like I did with the anniversary class, like I doing with this. This is the kind of market they dealt. We got to take advantage. How many of you have ever heard the term? Yeah, this is a little different. A little different. Yeah, a little different. A little different. Anybody ever heard the term trend index? Anybody ever heard that? I'm going to show you in this month and a half, I'm going to show you, okay, the different things like the tick, the trend, advanced decline, all that stuff that goes in to making a trend in the short term work, okay? I hadn't talked about it in years. That's why I want you to have the book, to read the book where you'll be prepared. That's definitely what I'm going to do. Yeah, I thought my futures people would like the fact I might throw a micro in just for the fun of it. All right. Any other questions anybody has? Very simple. Read the book and then be there next Tuesday at 11:30 to kick it off, okay? Read the book. So let me go over the dynamics one more time. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. What time? Yeah, the day trading one. That's the one. So read the book. Be there Tuesday at 11:30 to kick this thing off. 6:30 for you? Okay. Where you live? Where you live? No, 11:30 is not 6:30 in Las Vegas, is it, Robin? Y'all only what, 2 hours difference or three in Las Vegas? Be 9:30, wouldn't it? 8:30? Yeah, 3 hours. Right. Something else I want you to remember about today. That number I gave you on the S&P, 56, 56, 50. That's the number. We'll use it all next week unless it's broken, okay? And that'll make us some money to the downside too if it breaks. That's the number that's sort of defining the current market, 56.50. Does everybody have that number? 56.50. The second thing I want you to remember is Tesla. If Tesla goes above 253.55, it's going to be a bonus trade for this program. 53.55. If it does, no sugar. 246 right now. With what I was reading today, I said, what? And I went and looked. What number tells me it's going higher? 53.55. All right, so let me summarize and we'll go to a live market. Okay? I'd go out 30 days, Dave, on Tesla, okay? So I'll figure out how many slots we got, if we got any left or not, but we're gonna go to a live market and we'll come back and finish up. Jonathan, when that top clock ticks, take me to a live market. Okay. Today, everybody see RB3, circle RB3. Go to Genesis. Right there is where we went long on our day trade. Look what happened. It went up to RB4. Now, there's RB4. It put a stop to the rally, but we thought it would because that's why we took profits like we did. But look at it. That number is 57. The number you want to write down, if it happened, would be 57.13. 57.13. Goes 57.13, they're going to close it real strong. We're currently about 56.95. That tells you everything you need to know about the rest of the day. All right, Jonathan, thank you for getting this put together. Thank everybody for signing up. I'll be back Sunday night. Hope you can make it. We'll lay out the week. I'll give you the 10 tickers and we'll put together a white paper between now and Tuesday, sort of a summary sheet of some of the rules and insights that'll help you navigate what you're looking at in this market. We'll get that done. I'll get with Jonathan, we'll try to get that done. Some sort of big picture things and some index things I follow that will give you some clues. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you again. I'll see you on the flip side. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.